everybody hop on in the stream. Because yeah, I think we should be able to be getting to P3, and if we're getting to P3, we have a shot to kill it this weekend. So that's exciting. That could be very cool. So I think this preparation is going to be key for us being able to capitalize on these nerfs this week and catapult ourselves even further forward. So that's good. We didn't need the nerfs, but we will take them for timing. Okay, so intermission 2, not too much to say about it. Let's just watch through. So the basic principle here, as we've gone over before, is teams need to be sympathetic to one another, meaning that if one of them is in hell, the other one also rotates, right? So the red team here would need to rotate. So blue team should also rotate, even though blue team does not need to, right? So that we're staying opposite of each other. So that is the idea there. Let me see if my stream is good.
Do we mark players that are like team leaders? Sorry if you already answered.
No, but you'll be able to see everybody of your color. Okay, that should be fine. I think it's because I'm so zoomed out that it's lagging. Okay, cool. All right, so let's just watch that through. I think that will help here to see it in real time.
2, 1, now. Rotate.
I think this is actually... Sorry about that. I think that's the later part. Here we go.
Result? Okay, I'm back.
Set up on opposite sides here, and you just always rotate right.
Watch the spikes at all times. Watch the spikes. Watch the spikes here.
1.
Since we can soak up to 4 now without dying, that makes this phase a lot easier too.
Work in 2, 1, now. Rotate.
There's a triple on red.
Yeah, there's right in the front of red. There's 3.
Keep watching the
1.
spikes.
You played that really patient right there. That was really good.
And we're breaking the shields.
But yeah, that's really all there is to it. So even though they were in hell there, where there was a blue orb that was left behind, the warlock tried to gate over and grab it and got spiked in the middle of the gate. They still got through it. Notice boss percentage here. It's at about 35% going in. Their damage is huge. This group is an incredible group of gamers. We don't need really anything but like 40 necessarily to kill it, but sub 40 would be good at this point. They do have 3 players dead though, and then they still kill it here. So more damage obviously gives you some more leeway. You can definitely kill it with several players dead for a long time. You just have to game on it. Okay, so we won't watch the video for a second. We're just going to go through phase 3 conceptually here. So the way that you should think about it is that, you know how like phase 1 was 2 charges and you have to stop 2 charges and then the phase is basically over. Similarly, phase 2 is you need to do 2 web vortexes into dispels and then it's over. There's 2 sets of those. In the final phase, you've got basically both, but the way that it's organized is first, it will do a charge. You have to stop the charge, and you can't stop it the same way that we've always stopped it because there are no web bombs. So in Web Vortex, red team keeps their webs. So during the Web Vortex red team, the fire trucks have new rules, and we'll go over that here in a second. So you stop a charge, then there is another Web Vortex. This one has a dispel setting, and hopefully if we have enough damage, it's dead by then, but the very end is the hardest part. And there is a web vortex, and there are dispels going off at the same time as we are stopping a charge. So we will go through the plan on both of those in just a
Do the
moment.
dispels prefer a certain color, or can it be anybody?
That's a great question. I believe most of the replays that I was watching back through, if you have the web pair already, then the Stinging Swarm does not prefer you. Yeah, I don't believe so. And that's much better for sure. Okay, I don't know what slide I'm on here. I'm trying to make it big. Okay, so intermission 2 is over. Long Skinny Boy actually reappears, and you can see him right here, right? This is actually where he's going to reappear after the intermission.
Okay.
So we just follow him. And so the web vortex is coming up. So you just want to be aware. And this is actually where he ends, or where he was at the end of phase 2. He just kind of has a memory to him, and he'll just resurface where he ended. So that one's not entirely random, but basically after intermission 1, we want to keep our head on a swivel. Once we know where Long Skinny is going to be, we go and position alongside of him. So we'll position along the side, and then red team will bait a frontal, so it'll be like this, right? So red team, blue team. Red team gets a frontal, and then what happens is the red team will rotate around here, and blue team will be like this. Now, blue team, you can anticipate there's no frontal for you here, so you could actually be here-ish if you're careful about it, because red team is here baiting, and you can just chill here. So if you're clever, you can do that. But ultimately, after the frontal, red team needs to end up on the wall. Blue team ends up here. And this is for the web vortex into red, keeping their webs so that we can stop a charge. So once the web vortex goes off, right, this is the way that it would work. Let's say that red is getting gripped first here. Obviously, if red's getting gripped second, we just run through. It's the same rules. It's always the same rules for blue team, so you don't need to memorize new rules. Red team, you have new rules. So in order to keep your webs, if we're getting gripped first, red team is always going right. So you left gamers, those that have been going left to break your webs, you're going to go right, because we're all just going to keep our webs. And then we're going to come over here and soak, and then we're going to be ready to stop the charge. So this is the difficult portion for red team. If red team is gripped second, you can just go straight through, soak these orbs, and then go stop the charge. But that's the difference here. And then blue team's playing along the wall. And blue team can come join us once the charge is stopped.
Hey, Core.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of discussion on people being able to bait who is actually webbed together. Are we going to do that, or are we just going to YOLO it?
I'm planning on YOLOing it. Okay. You can assign like a pentagon of stacked players, and if you're stacked with like a pair, you can bait yourself to that other person. But I think red team is heads up enough that if we have 5 pairs, by the end of it, we can get 3 of them to stop the charge, and I think that'll be okay. Again, damage doesn't matter, so I'm not too worried about optimizing that at this point and like making other people break. But yeah, you can do it that way for sure. That is a possibility. The thing about the pairs is that it's not guaranteed. So like if 2 of the pairs were kind of equidistant from the boss, then it's just as likely as you're going to get paired to the guy you're stacked on as you are to the other 2 that are close. So it's not like a guarantee. It just you can game it a little bit and maybe optimize a bit. But I don't think we're at that point where we need to. I think I want to just keep it simple in terms of the things we're memorizing. Cool. So yeah, this is the, if red team gets gripped in first, they are going to run right. keep their webs, then go soak, and then go stop the charge. Blue team, you're snapping your webs, so you don't need to keep your webs, but red team does. This is obviously a dangerous portion. Red team, watch yourself with personals. And we'll be all right. Okay, so moving forward, there will be like some circles to dodge. Red team, you just want to stop the big guy. So after we soak, we move out here. So after we soak, we move out towards the middle, and we stop it near the middle is the idea. And that's because the next move is to the long skinny, and he can teleport anywhere randomly. So we want to kind of be at a ready stance, stopping him in the middle, and then going to the long skinny. This is going to be a very similar move to what you're used to. We get almost nothing out of this damage amp, by the way. This boss charges, we stop him, and then we basically have to go to the long skinny when he teleports to set up for the web vortex into dispels. So it's not quite like the other. In this phase, it's a little accelerated, so it's not like the other phases where once you get the mega mechanic stopped, then you just AFK, like, smash the boss. This one, you actually have to leave some damage amp on the table and just leave the boss. And you'll see that here in a second when we go through the replay. So we stop the charge. There's the damage amp in the middle, right here. So if this were the case, and where we were, red team is coalesced kind of on this side, blue team just came from the long skinny, they can get a little bit of damage amp in here if they want. Not very much, a couple globals maybe, and then they got to run to the long skinny. Everybody's got to run over to the long skinny. Again, it's all basically dictated by long skinny, so we got to get over to him, even though we stopped this guy and he's in a damage amp. So just got to leave him. So that might be a little counterintuitive and difficult for us to do at first, but hopefully the heads up will help us a little bit. So we've got dispels here as well. So we'll do a web vortex. You'll follow the traditional rules here. So first team will go left and right. You snap your webs. You don't need to keep these here. This is just a web vortex into dispels, just like P2. So it's kind of like a quick reprise, right? We're doing a phase 1 thing, we're doing a phase 2 thing, and then we're going to do a phase 3 thing where they're all together. So this is the phase 2 thing. So I didn't draw this one out because, you know, you guys have seen it 3 times now in the fight, and we've practiced it, so you'll know what to do. But basically, we run to the boss, and we're on the side of him. He does the web vortex. First team left and right. Second team goes straight through. Just like that. We do dispels here, but only one of them will be on the wall. This is different from the other ones where we're actually able to get 2 off on the wall, but only one will go on the wall here. And then the next will just translate into mid. And then the next, well, actually now it's 3, so it'd be 2 through 4 will go in the middle, and we'll dispel here. If our damage is good, we kill it in this dispel amp right here, but we do need to prepare for the last one so that we know how it goes. So let's talk about that here before we start watching a video. Okay. Charge, web vortex. Okay, dispels and webs together. So long skinny can teleport anywhere here. Again, after the damage amp. So we follow him. Red team baits a frontal, and we rotate. Just like, if you're paying attention, this is just like at the beginning of the phase. So red team baits a frontal, we rotate. Red team's going to be on the wall. Blue team is going to be here in the middle. So this is a combo of both things together, right? So red team has the weird rules here. They are going to keep their webs here. Blue team needs to pixel stack for this one though. So yeah, blue team kind of has a special rule. And this is just so that I can go in and soak all 10 orbs and die. Because red team, the rest of you are going to need to go towards the middle. And you don't have time to soak these orbs and come back and wait for the purple. You need to go to the middle and stop the charge. So we'll take a second. So it looks kind of like this. Red team goes and stops the charge. I'll sacrifice myself here. Blue team can run to the middle. First dispel is going on the boss. The last 3 go in the middle. So we've got a charge stopped here, damage amp, and then we've got a double damage amp. So we've got the dispels here. So 2, 3, 4 happen here. And then, yeah, you've got a double damage amp there for a second where you can cleave on them. It's mega juice. And so the boss definitely can die in that if you do that, if you execute that mechanically just right. But this is the same rules, right? If red gets gripped first, red is going right. All of red team is going right if red gets gripped first. Blue team, you want to pixel stack for this web vortex. It's the only one that you want to do that for, so that's going to be a little different for the police cars. But you pixel stack that right on top of one another, ready for the grip in, so that I can suicide and soak that and heal the rest of the fight, because my angel will last up through all of the dispels and that sort of thing. But I will be a roadblock here, blue team, so just be aware that you can run into me while I'm in angel form here. So when you're coming in, just try not to hit me and kill yourself on my angel. And that's it. That's the complete end of the fight. That is everything. So I think what would be most helpful for us here is if we watch that happen in real time and talk about it, and then maybe watch it again in real time. We'll see how it's going.
What are we playing?
So long skinny, side by side. Red is baiting a frontal.
There isn't any, just ignore it. They're out.
So after this frontal, red rotates to the wall.
Front red.
Red, blue.
And I believe red is first grip here in this recording.
Red, you're keeping your webs.
And blue can just snap, but yeah, red goes... Oh yeah, it's blue first on this one. So red can soak on the way
The
out.
moment you've stopped the charge here, you need to fuck off to the spinning boss.
So they stop the charge, but they're going to be looking for the long skinny teleport
The
here.
boss.
Yep, and red has just leave. See how weird that is? They have the damage amp, but they're just gone.
As well.
Now blue maybe got a couple globals in, but in general we just waste that damage amp.
You can break your webs in this. One dispel on the wall, second
That's
goes to the
painful.
middle, left and right.
So left and right here on the first one, you snap your webs and soak the orbs, and then they're going to do dispels here.
The wall.
We need to get these orbs. Still.
First dispel going on Tuna by Mikey in 3, 2, 1. Now, Cephas in the middle. You
So
dispel
second
Ninjas
dispel is in the middle here.
Pursued by Caligus in 2, 1. Now, Ninja by Mikey in 2, 1. Now, Void Shuffle by Awake 2, 1. Now.
So this one is a good damage amp. You can actually get
Yep.
something off on this one.
Okay, red. Speed boost. Get ready to run.
So that's noteworthy for your cooldowns.
Teleport in
Is it's actually the second web vortex into dispels is where you want your cooldowns. Now this one's similar. Long skinny teleports we follow.
Far side, bait the frontal. Blue
And
pixels
boss blue.
deck in the middle. Red, you're keeping your web here. Red spread out. And
So
keep
this
the
is
web.
both together. This is a stop. I believe it's blue
Do
first
not soak the orb.
on this
Not
one,
soak
yeah.
the orb, red. Okay. Dispel
So see that
red,
pixel stack
one
there?
on the
They
wall,
just
second
avoid
goes
it.
to the middle. First is
Because
still
now they're stopping the
middle, yeah.
charge.
Yes.
Get out.
Get stone, Mikey.
Come on.
I got stone.
Next is Lurks by Tuna in
Someone get him.
2,
Get away from
1.
the boss.
Now.
Away from Mikey.
Next is Mono by Calicus in 2, 1. Now. Kasuk by Mikey in 2,
Go.
1. Now. Void Shuffle by Awake in 2, 1. Go.
So that was one dispel on the wall, and then the rest of them are in the middle again. So both dispel in this phase follow the same thing.
Who the fuck is this red guy? Oh my.
And so this is Enrage right here,
Maybe?
but you can still keep going for a bit.
Oh, this is Enrage. Oh no.
See, even the tank is...
3 DPS, too many dead.
Some blue assassin.
They think they don't have it
It's
here
fine. We've still got like 10 seconds, dude.
because it wasn't clean, but you can actually still pull this off.
Immunities.
Where's the tank?
Immunities, immunities,
No,
immunities.
the boss is fucking gonna die. No.
Where's the tank?
Let's see.
Okay.
Jesus.
And so that's it. That's the whole fight.
1. Now. Now.
Is there anything you guys have questions about or comments or anything you want to go over? Just to feel solid about that for when we get there.
I think it's just the discipline of running to the teleports, getting that down in phase 2 and phase 3.
Yeah, you can
Like
watch. Yeah.
And make sure we're spread, because that's what struggled like on the times we got to it last week.
Yeah.
We would run, but then the whole team would be like clumped. And it'll be less of a problem now with the orb changes, but still the concern.
Yeah. Yep. It's still not the right play, right? You want to make it pretty easy on yourselves. So yeah, just watch that timing again here. So red team's keeping their webs. This is the first web vortex.
Charge here, you need to fuck off to the spinning boss.
And that's what the raid leader just told them, right? The moment you stop the charge, you fuck off.
Red running to the
So
boss,
off to the long skinny.
And blue you can start moving.
And so they left, like they maybe got one global in on the damage amp. That's it. So yeah, there's some discipline there for sure. And then this is
just the discipline in general. We're facing the charges. Or the teleports, even in phase 2. Like we struggle a little, but
yeah, for sure.
Take reps.
Yeah, so like as soon as the long skinny appears, we gotta run.
We never had a bad one either, right? Like we never had the one that was right behind a group. It was always to the side.
Yep. Yeah, we've just gotten lucky with that. The blue team in this situation is in a really tough spot, especially if they're the first grip. They've got so long to go, so they're probably going to litter the whole platform in the middle with their grip. But as long as you understand that you're still going left and right this way, it doesn't matter like where you started from. This was your goal. This is where you're gonna like orient yourself from, and just go left and right from here.
You did through a red person that was not on their stack point.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, red is going and clearing you, so they're on the right side. Red right, blue left. Yep. And then you just do it as you normally would. In this drawing, I did a red team got sucked first, but it's the same, but different. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, we just need to be good about that, and then have some good presence of mind during the intermission to, just make good heads up plays, dodge through, and not panic. This one should end pretty quickly as long as we have everybody up, so shouldn't be too bad. Cool. Well, if there are no questions or comments, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer.
I have one thing to say before you let everybody go, after you're done with your final statement.
Yeah, so I do have some AnswerEck assignments up. I did post this in the Discord, but yeah, there's a lot to do. This is just phase 1 assignments. So there's a lot there. So start looking into AnswerEck if you're feeling comfortable with Silken Court, because we are going to launch into that very soon here. I'm feeling like it's possible to kill Silken Court this weekend for us. I think we've practiced enough in P2. Intermission 2 is not difficult. It's just on an individual play, but it's not difficult to learn. And then phase 3 is just a reprise of everything that we've learned, basically. Especially if red team knows that they're just keeping their webs and stopping the charge that way. So I'm excited about that. I think we should show up strong and crush it, and then start working on the final boss and finish out the tier. Yeah. Okay, Lucas, it's all you.
Final thing,